Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In today's video, I got something that I guarantee you guys are gonna love, especially if you're a Boston Celtics fan. The Celtics are kind of in a weird situation, and I wouldn't be surprised if during this year's NBA trade deadline, they pull some strings, they make a crazy move to improve their roster. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Boston Celtics and potential mid-season moves that I believe they could make, they should make, because so far from what we're hearing, the Celtics aren't happy, the general manager isn't even happy. We have a lot of expectation for Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and so far, we're not seeing it, and making a move might be the best thing for the team. So if you're a Celtics fan, and you want what's best for them, you're gonna love this. But quickly, before I get on with the video, I just want to say, if you're new to the channel and love basketball, welcome to Easy Buckets. My name is Soom, and I make basketball videos every single day. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. It would help out the channel a lot. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about the Boston Celtics.
We didn't come with it today, and that's disappointing on all of us. Because we don't have time to relax. It wasn't much to draw up or X's and O's. It was just more so about taking a challenge, having some pride about what we're doing out there on the court.
The Boston Celtics are one of the most popular teams right now when it comes to being active during this year's NBA trade deadline. A big reason why they're in this conversation is because the general manager of Danny Ainge claims publicly that he feels the Boston Celtics roster is not good enough to compete for an NBA championship. With that being said, if the general manager does not believe in his own roster, then expect a new look roster that will come soon. As I make this video, the Boston Celtics have a record of 17-17, which ranks them as the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, and if you're unaware, the Eastern Conference is kind of close. If you lose a game, you move down out of the playoff picture, but if you win a game, you move up. And honestly, I'm just surprised because we don't expect the Boston Celtics to be in this specific situation. And with the Boston Celtics currently not living up to expectation, I also believe that they have to make some big moves during this year's NBA trade deadline. To start off this video, I want to talk about the table of contents, talking about things that I want you guys to expect when it comes to this video. For the first part, we're going to be evaluating what we know about the current roster and also talking about their salary cap and talking about things we should know financially. For part 2, we're going to be talking about the key points for their roster, talking about the priorities, and also talking about the important needs for the team. For the third part, we're going to be talking about trades and free agents that I believe potentially could improve their roster. And then part 4, talking about the ultimate conclusion and breakdown of what the new look roster could potentially look like. And in my opinion, it's the best case scenario. Hopefully this table of contents gives you guys an idea of the kind of video I'm going to be making, especially when it comes to the other teams I'll be talking about as well. So to simply start off with what we know, we're going to be talking about the Boston Celtics roster and talking about the players that are currently under their payroll. The Celtics right now have a roster of 15 players, they're full, and also have 2 extra players under a 2-way contract. They have Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Jayson Tatum, Tristan Thompson, Daniel Tice, Romeo Langford, Aaron Nesmith, Jeff Teague, Grant Williams, Peyton Pritchard, Robert Williams, Semi Ojeleye, Carson Edwards, Javonte Green, Taco Fall, and Tremont Waters. But what's very special about the Boston Celtics roster right now is the amount of cap space they have available. After losing Gordon Hayward during this past NBA offseason, the Boston Celtics actually have about $28.5 million in available cap space. So if the Boston Celtics plan on making a trade, they don't really have to match salary perfectly, as they literally have a spot for an available contract. For this video, I'm going to be using this available salary cap and taking advantage of it when it comes to a trade. And now we're going to talk about key priorities for the team that I believe they have to improve on. And in my opinion, it starts with Jayson Tatum. I believe Jayson Tatum has to be more consistent if the Boston Celtics want to go anywhere this year. The Boston Celtics were always guessed to be one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference, but a big reason why they're losing a lot of games right now is because Jayson Tatum simply has not been consistent. When talking about the month of February, he's shooting a total of 36% at the field goal, and NBA teams around the NBA are curious why Tatum, his shots aren't falling. What is going on with him? I 100% believe Jayson Tatum can turn it around, but what I'm trying to say is that he is the main guy, he is their best player, and their success will definitely revolve around what Jayson Tatum brings to the table. After the NBA All-Star Weekend, I want to see Jayson Tatum kind of turn it around, be a consistent factor night in and night out, similar to Kawhi Leonard. And now we're going to move forward to part 3 of this video, talking about the Boston Celtics making a perfect trade, and if the Celtics want to get better, I 100% feel they must target the NBA trade deadline. For this video, I actually have something good for you guys. I have 2 trade scenarios that I believe the Celtics must do. They have to make both of these trades, and I believe if this is the case, they actually get this done, I believe the Celtics would be unstoppable in the Eastern Conference. The first trade on this list is the Boston Celtics trading for Nikola Vucevic of the Orlando Magic, and Vucevic is a very popular target when it comes to a center that could be on the trade block if the Orlando Magic ultimately look towards rebuilding. As I make this video, the Orlando Magic are having a terrible season. They currently rank as the 13th seed in the Eastern Conference. They've been hit with so many injuries. They lost Markelle Fultz, they lost Aaron Gordon, they even lost Cole Anthony recently, and honestly, things just don't look good for the Orlando Magic. Despite the Orlando Magic struggling, Nikola Vucevic is having a monster season. He's averaging about 24.4 points per game, 11.6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and almost a block. And I want to see Nikola Vucevic in a winning situation, as throughout his career so far, he has not been in one. And with the Boston Celtics right now looking for a center, a dominant center, Nikola Vucevic could be their answer. If the Celtics can offer up Daniel Tice, Tristan Thompson, their 2021 first round pick, and their 2023 first round pick, I believe this would be a good trade for both teams. As for the Orlando Magic's perspective, they'll be getting a futuristic draft pick of this year's first round draft pick and 2023, and of course getting Daniel Tice isn't a bad idea. Tice could be an upcoming center in the NBA. From the Boston Celtics perspective, they'll be getting a center that can literally be an established big that can put up 20 plus points per game, which they need right now. They need a dominant interior presence. From what we heard so far in a recent report, the Boston Celtics are heavily pursuing Nikola Vucevic and keeping an eye on a situation, because the moment Orlando Magic put Nikola Vucevic up for a trade, the Celtics are going to be the first caller. Then after making this trade, I believe the Boston Celtics should do this trade for Miles Turner, offering up Kemba Walker, their 2025 first round pick, in exchange for Miles Turner, Doug McDermott, and Jeremy Lamb. I believe this is an amazing trade for the Boston Celtics, as of course they're losing Kemba, which is an all-star point guard, but getting a lot of depth and good return. We just got a recent report that the Boston Celtics are going to try to trade Kemba Walker because they feel he doesn't really fit alongside Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, and what they're trying to build. And with Kemba Walker right now still having some NBA value, I believe they must trade him as soon as possible. The Boston Celtics want strong rim protection and interior defense, and with Miles Turner right now leading the NBA in blocks per game, I believe getting him is a no-brainer. The Boston Celtics are actually being linked to Miles Turner. What's very special about Miles Turner is his ability to spread the floor. He's also a pretty decent three-point shooter. That's why I believe this trade is a win-win for both sides. The Indiana Pacers get Kemba Walker to kind of replace Victor Oladipo, and then the Boston Celtics get depth, which is what they need right now to win the Eastern Conference. With that being said, that wraps up the trades for this video. I believe the Boston Celtics should try trading for Nikola Vucevic and then try trading for Miles Turner and depth. This is the new ultimate rotation and breakdown of the Boston Celtics roster. They would have a starting lineup of Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, Miles Turner, Nikola Vucevic. I believe Turner can play the 4, and then off the bench, give more minutes to Peyton Pritchard. We all know how good this young man is. Then Jeremy Lamb off the bench, Doug McDermott, and then Grant Williams, Robert Williams, while still having key players of Jeff Teague, Carson Edwards, Semi Ojeleye, Aaron Nesmith, and Romeo Langford. I believe this would be a great scenario for the Boston Celtics NBA trade deadline. But what's most important to me, guys, is one of your thoughts. Are these good ideas? If you're a Boston Celtics fan, do you agree with me? Do you not? Let me know what you're thinking down in the comment section down below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!